I mean, now you go to intermediate, right? As you go to intermediate, you come back as a third time apprentice. Intermediate is the main reason why they basically want you to take physics, math, and English is
Mhm.
trade school is more of math. It's a lot of formula. Find this, find that, find current, find amperage, find voltage,
Mhm.
right? So majority of the time, the union don't want to put money behind your back because they know that if you go to trade school and you don't pay attention, you will definitely fail. And I have been in a class and I've seen people walk out of it because it was just too much for them, right? And this is a career that they want to basically take. So uh, I'll finish my story before I come back here. So third time apprentice, you go to trade school, you come back, you get a raise, you work a certain amount of hours again, and then you go back to school again for your intermediate. Intermediate is also a 10 week, and with the intermediate course, uh, these all these time you're going to school. Remember, you're getting the EI, and when you pass your exam, every time at my time, every time you pass your grade, which is your basic, you pass, you could send your credential to the government, and they will send you a $2,000 check for passing.
Oh, that's really
Right,
nice.
right. So that was
Okay.
incentive, same as
Mhm.
same as the intermediate and same as the advanced. So
Wow.
after you do the advance, which is a fifth
Mhm.
term apprentice, now your fifth term apprentice is probably making like 30, 36, 37 an hour. All right. And at that time, just know that if you started this from high school, you started from
Mhm.
18, you started from 17. So now you're 22 and you're making 36,
Wow, that's
30,
crazy.
right? 36 an
Mhm.
hour. And after you become a 15, you get your journeyman status. I think right now our package is 52 an hour, and our package is $80, and I think you take home 50, 52, $53 an hour. Right,
Wow,
right.
that
So
takes decades for your average person.
right? So, like
Mhm.
Michael, for instance, Michael worked for a company called for what's it called? FM Sylvan. They are all in the car plant. Like I'll talk Michael's story. Michael came from a Hammerhead program. If anybody know about Hammerhead program, Michael went through the Hammerhead program. He got into the electrical apprenticeship. Now Michael worked at GM, Ford, Chrysler.
Wow.
Uh, we were over at the battery plant in Windsor.
Yeah, I'm here.
That Okay, perfect. So Michael, I'll talk about Michael for a little bit. And Michael, you can stand in if you want anytime. You can talk about your story
You,
and how you got into electrical apprenticeship as well. It'll be great. Uh, but
you guys.
Windsor, okay,
Go
you
ahead,
there?
Michael.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. I didn't know if you guys could hear me. Sorry about that. Also,
Okay,
No
good.
problem.
Wilson and I, we've been electricians. I've been an electrician for about 10 years now. Uh,
Mhm. Awesome.
30 years old now, so I got into the trades pretty young. And
Mhm.
yeah, it's been great, to be honest. It changed my life for the better. So, like Wilson was saying, it's a 9,000 hour apprenticeship. You have
Mhm.
school that you have to do while you're working those 9,000 hours. You have basic,
Mhm.
intermediate, and advanced. You could do that at George Brown, Durham College, Humber College, whatever college in Ontario you settled
Mhm.
for, you can do it there. Then yeah, so you start off like $18, then you go up to $40. Then when you're licensed, you like Wilson said, in our union, it's I believe it's like $52 an hour. And
Yeah,
yeah, like the best thing about it is I've been working around many places and just seeing the progression and all what I'm involved with in the infrastructure. It's a great thing because reputations that we've earned is like the best thing ever. Like I've been at in Windsor at a big battery plant, one of the biggest battery plants in the world. I've been at
Mhm.
multiple auto plants from GM to Chrysler to Ford, and I know the ins and outs of many projects. And that's over time I've gained that knowledge, and it's all started from being a young black male that was interested in the trades and just took a chance on it. And uh,
Awesome.
really inspiring and really helpful because I would like to see other youth as well get involved with the N.D.C program and whatever programs available out there, because it's a really good situation you could get yourself into, because you're not fighting for a minimum wage job. You're fighting for a career. You're fighting
Mhm.
for life. So that's the thing you
100%.
have to consider. It's not just
Mhm.
oh, I have this job for today or next month. It's you have these skills and licenses forever. And in Canada, our electrical standards are one of the top fives in the world. You could probably work
Wow.
in the world if you want to dream bigger. So there's always opportunities, there's always things opening up. So I would always recommend youth getting involved with the trades, because at the end of the day, the trades make the world go round. So we need
That's
more.
a fact.
They need to get more involved, because all the people in the trades they're older than me. They're way older than me. So
Mhm.
and
You'll be retiring.
there's not enough young
Yeah.
guys. I've been
And
10.
the good thing about this thing is, you know what, like, it doesn't matter if you're young or you're old. Once you did that, you do that 9,000 hours, you become a journey person and you get paid the same as the person that been working in there for 40 years.
You know,
Right. So there isn't seniority in this thing here. And
Mhm.
I just wanted to, Michael, let me just say this about Windsor. Windsor, for instance, like this, we were working over there and the pay raise was $5,000 a week.
Ah,
Right.
imagine.
Right. $5,000 a week. Every week that company, that job site was pushing out $15 million a week every week that they pay out. Right. And
Wow.
there wasn't even 1% of us in there. Right. So we basically want to basically now look into those places. Right.
Mhm.
When it comes to the skill trade, majority of the time people think you don't have to be smart to get in there, but you have to understand it takes a smart person to go to the hospital before the doctor comes in there to do his work. Right.
That's
And the great thing about what I like about the trades is when I was in Windsor, I've seen a couple of my apprentices and it was like, yo, Wilson, you're making $200,000 a year steady for the last 2 years. And these are
wow.
24, 25 years. Right. So I feel like, you know what, every Canadian youth, every person that comes here should have the right to be able to know the right trades and the right places to basically start a career. It doesn't really, it doesn't, you may be coming from Ghana and you're a banker in Ghana and you come in here and you have to restart everything again. But my advice will be, you know what, just humble, pick a trade. If it has to be a carpenter, it has to be even a painter, if it has to be
Mhm.
that, take that trade and just don't become don't do a lot of different trades. Learn to just become get a license for one,
Mhm.
but don't not saying don't do other trades. Right.
Mhm. Be a
So
master in one, and then you
just
can pursue others.
other ones, right? With for
Mhm.
instance, with the electrical, for instance, with our union, for instance, you could become a teacher if you turn to get your license and you don't really want to work on the tools anymore. You could find a way to become a teacher. I wanted Stephanie to come here. Stephanie, I don't know, Stephanie couldn't make it. Another Stephanie, right?
Okay.
Stephanie,
Mhm.
Stephanie is
Oh,
an
nice.
electrician. Stephanie is a licensed electrician. She's an ICI. Stephanie
Mhm.
teaches for Skill Trade College. A lot of people do go to Skill Trade College. Stephanie teaches for Skill Trade College,
That's
but
awesome.
right, and that's her side gig, right? So she works as an electrician Monday to Friday, and Saturday, Sunday she teaches for Skill Trade College, right?
That's
So
amazing.
you have options to basically uh, don't have to work for a minimum wage job, right?
Mhm.
Majority of the time we have only one job. We don't have two jobs. We just stick with the one job that we have. Why have two jobs if we just have one? So
Mhm. That's
again, with the skill trade with the union is a good way to go, right?
mhm.
Because with the union you get a good back support, right? But I won't say the union is the only way to get employed, right? The union is very very hard to get in at the moment. At the moment, a lot of people are trying to get in it, right? They have a program called the Pathway Program for Women and BIPOC people. With this program here, they basically give women chance. I had a chance to become what's it called, one of the instructors for the shop class.
Nice.
And then I had the women that I was in the class. I had even a principal that had been doing a second career that wanted to become an electrician. I had people from dental assistants, bank teller, had supply teachers, had factory workers. All of them were coming in here to get a second career because they know that within the 5 years they're going to have a pension, they're going to have a career that they could move, they could travel with. Right now, they could go for their masters. Now they could have their own business. They could hire people under them and give them job, give them an opportunity for them to work. Because in Ontario here, for you to have an electrical business, you have to go for your master license. If you don't have your master license and you have just a red seal license, you're just a journey person, right? But the journey person is great because you can work from all the way from North Pole to Texas, and then from BC to PEI, right? You could work all that route with that license, right? And you could even go. You could go in the Caribbean with it if you need. Even Dubai, you could go with it if you want.
Awesome.
So with this,
Sorry.
okay, with this,
All right. Okay, we're good. Go ahead.
So with all that saying, with this IBW and working as an electrician and me going into the schools and doing my own survey, I noticed that there was a problem within our community. So what I did was I always went to the union to try and get the union to give me support to come in the community to give the community the information that they needed. But the union always had a regime when they have a new business manager and a new team comes in, they basically will push me aside and they will be like, you know what, this is not important for us. But I noticed how important it was because 17 years ago, I did a basketball camp. And at that time, I was an apprentice. And I brought my pay stub with me. And in the basketball camp, 90% of the kids that were at the camp went into the skill trades.
That's awesome.
Right. And that was 17 years ago. So all of them have their licenses now. All of them have families now. All of them are taking care of their families, working in the skill trade. So every time the coach sees me, the coach is like, wow, bro, you basically changed a whole lot of the kids that were in my camp. Right.
Awesome.
Even the coach even joined our team now as a program developer to help because he sees that the basketball is great, but the basketball does not give the percentage of the people a chance to work. It doesn't really give, even though basketball is great, but not everybody gets into the basketball. So when they don't get into the basketball, how are they going to take care of their family? How are they going to live? So even the coach had joined the team of N.D.C to basically bring the information forward up front to the youth. And the main reason why N.D.C was established was to basically go into the schools, go into the communities, educate the kids, one day in elementary school, high school, educate the parents, educate guidance counselors about how to get the kids into the skill trades. Because since the government have mandated a skill trade need, there's a lot of organizations that are out there that are saying that come take a pre-apprentice course, pre-apprentice course, pre-apprentice course. They are all taking money from the government, stating that they're going to give you employment, but remember, they're social workers. They don't even know how to get into the trade.
Wow,
so,
I had no idea.
So majority of them are giving courses about first aid, giving courses about forklift driving, little hands-on training with a carpenter here and there, right? But they are not given an opportunity.
Our minister's office confirms there have been discussions.
Okay, you're good.
So none of them are given a job. You're not given a real career. You're not given an apprenticeship. So majority of the time you will spend, not to knock Skill Trade College, not to knock Centennial College, not to knock Humber College, not to knock all these colleges that are doing the pre-apprenticeship programs, right? But my advice to everybody over here is, if you're looking for an apprenticeship program and you have to go pay to go to school first before start your apprenticeship, you have been scammed.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
right?
And I'm glad you say that because I was also considering which trade I wanted to go into. And I saw apprenticeship program in the next two towns over from me, but maybe a 25-minute drive. And it was a 12-week program. So I got excited. I'm like, I can be starting this career ASAP. And then I saw the price was $12,000. I'm like, wow,
Yeah,
and that's just the minimum. It was about 12,500. And I'm like, I need to step back and save.
right.
So
So with that 12,000, if you have that 12,000, if any parent have the 12,000 that I hear that they won't trying to support their kids, use that money to buy them a vehicle
okay.
because they need a vehicle. Once you get in the trade, your job is not going to be an office job at one
Mhm.
location. You'll be traveling all over the place.
Right.
So my advice to anybody here that wants to get into the trades is you have to go out there and look for the job,
Okay.
right? You could go in the unions, knock the unions door, but if the unions don't offer the job, still go out there for non-union contractors. If you even have to pay those contractors to hire you and give you a apprenticeship, it is more valuable than you going into a trade school and paying
So
them.
is that without experience?
You don't need an
How
experience
do
because if
okay.
you come in to work, if you're coming to work for me, I rather know that you're green, you don't
Mhm.
know anything for me to feel
Okay.
safe to work with you. Because it's
Mhm.
safer for me to work with you if you don't know nothing. Because
Mhm.
now I could tell you, can you get me this? If you don't know this, I'll train you to get what you need. But if you
Okay.
come in and you feel like you know this because you've taken these courses and you know
Mhm.
this and you know this and you know this, you could get hurt right underneath me and I'll be liable for
Mhm.
having you under me and not being able to help you out on the stage. So with the
Okay.
apprenticeship program, it's always good for you to get your credentials, which is the physics, math, and English. If you want to be electrician, plumber, elevator technician, physics, math, English is needed. If you want to be a
Okay.
carpenter, if you want to be a carpenter, you want to be a painter, you want to be that, I think you need English and math,
Okay.
right?
So I'm going to pause you. I have a twofold question. So
Mm-hmm.
if I am, whether I'm fresh out of high school or I'm
Mm-hmm.
44 or I'm older,
Mm-hmm.
what are some of the companies, who are some of the companies I should go to say, hey, give me a chance. I am willing to learn. I'm ready to serve. Are there big companies that you know of, or would you suggest the independent business owner? What
So,
is more realistic? Mhm.
so majority of the time, you can see a lot of development going in the neighborhoods, right? Like some of the people
Yeah.
are building houses, a lot of houses.
Hmm.
I will, I will basically go in there and try to find a company that's working in there. I will go in there because I know they're not going to give me the job. They're not just gonna give me the job on the platter,
Yeah.
right? I will go in
Mhm.
there and then I'll ask who the company, who's the boss. They'll probably give me a
Mhm.
runaround, right?
Mhm.
But I'll come back again,
Okay.
and once I get the location of the company, I
Mhm.
will call the company, try and get my resume there. If they get my resume and I don't hear nothing from them, I'll drive to the company, try and
Okay.
find somebody in the office, and they tell me, "Oh, we're not busy now." I could also give them, I could give them alternatives like, you know what, I don't mind even cleaning the shop, being in the
Oh,
back, organizing the material, doing the random stuff at the shop, right?
okay.
Because I know that that's how a lot of these white boys are getting the jobs now, right?
That's fair. Mhm.
Because if they're not hiring, they might need somebody to clean the office. They might need somebody to organize tools. They might need somebody to keep and make sure everything is organized at the back. So that would be another way of looking at it. There's a lot of companies on Google. You could basically type in electrical companies. You can find a whole lot
Okay.
of them. One of the
Okay.
biggest companies right now that is around is called Mayfair Electric. It's a
Okay.
non-union
Fair.
contractor,
Okay.
right? You could basically check them out. I could pull up. Let me see. I have another companies that
Yeah, I'm
on
writing this
on my.
down.
I could possibly get you a few companies could get you a few companies that that are probably going to be a unionized company soon.
Great.
So
Yeah, while you're looking, I will mention something. Oh yeah, so I work for the Home Depot. I've been working for the Home Depot for about 8 years or so. So
mhm,
in the last 8 years, I started off in the store and I met a lot of people in construction. And I do want to encourage you, everyone, to take that shot to get out of your comfort zone and be bold enough to ask for work. Like Wilson is saying, say that I don't mind sweeping, I don't mind painting. There was some construction guys who needed someone to paint. They didn't need a professional. They just needed the walls to be beige or so, just to move on with the next step. So it is something that I think is out there and you can take advantage of. There's a lot of people, construction managers and owners, sometimes they're so busy. So if you can offer them some organization skills, whether it is their tools, like Wilson is saying, or just taking calls, following up with customers, I think that is a great first step to just get your foot into the door. Show to them that you can be a good steward of a little bit so they can give you some more responsibility. So I think that's fair. And I
Yeah,
think
100%. So some of the
Mhm.
companies that you could possibly put down, I sent you a text,
Perfect.
Stephanie, so you could look at it. You could put it in there for anybody who's looking at. I just got this list here
I'll
last week.
share it here.
So the companies is I think Duplex Electric, Caro Electric, Dercom Electric, Samsung Electric, OTS Electric, and Course Electric. Right, these are electrical companies that you could apply. You could check them out. You could look at them to try and see if you get a some type of apprenticeship from it. I think it would be great if you check through that. But apart from that, the main reason why I started N.D.C. is, like I said, is to give information for the youth. Right,
Mhm.
N.D.C. has been around for the last 4 years. We've been doing a lot of, you see us at Ghana Fest. If you've been to Ghana Fest, you see us over in Ghana Fest. We had Afro Fest, we had Afro Caribbean Festival, we had Trinidad Tobago Festival. We try to stick with our people festivals so that
Mhm.
we could talk to the parents, the grandparents, advocate for the next generation, so that their parents could at least give them also option, because majority of the time some of these kids, they do university for their parents. They don't do it
Yeah.
themselves, right?
Exactly. And I
So
want to bring up a question about that. Sorry to interrupt. So Amma had posted in the chat asking, now that you're mentioning parents, there is some sort of stigma in the Ghanaian community about the trades. I've noticed that the Caribbeans, a lot of gentlemen are pretty handy and are in the trades, but the amount of Ghanaians in the trades are kind of small. So when you talk to these parents, do you see that stigma? And what do you think some of the reason for that is?
well, I think it's all down to information aspect, right?
Mhm.
Majority of the parents, they don't really know. So if you don't know, then you don't really know how to basically guide. But when it comes to conversation and talking to parents and giving them that advice, I think majority of the time the conversation goes further and the parents get it through the conversation aspect. So it all boils down to having more parents involved. With N.D.C, for instance, we have program where we deal with parents and the child, right? We let you
Mhm.
build a wall together so that you can bond with your child through conversation aspect of things. Last summer camp, we did a summer camp. We had a few students. That was one of the video that we threw. Michael there.
Mhm.
That was our last summer camp. We did at Centennial College. Toronto Police was involved. They got us the tools to basically do the camp for the youth. We had a very successful story. The Skilled Ontario, one of our partners, brought their virtual reality bus there. This year, we are planning on doing another summer camp, a 2 week summer camp in Scarborough. So anybody that's in Scarborough that is in, let's say, our summer camp is more from grade 2 to grade 9. So we doing STEM, we doing and trades as well, right? So any parent that is in that feels like they want to put their child in a place that they get to experience and also have an open mind about what different trades are, because I feel like when I was younger, if I had somebody that was in my household that I got to see that went out to work every day and came back, and
Mhm.
I see their dirty boots and they show me their pay stubs and I see how much money they're making and stuff like that. It will get me interested in going into the skill trade. But with our
Mhm.
household, majority of the time, we want to see the lawyers, we want to see the doctors, we want to see all the white collar
Mhm.
jobs, but nobody wants to look at the blue collar job, which is, we come from a country. that need our renovation regardless, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like even more Ghanaians that are coming here to be taking into the skill trade,
Mm-hmm.
learning from the professionals, because like Michael said, Canada is rated for one of the five best trades places to learn a trade in the world with the licenses, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, you know what, if more Ghanaians get into the trades, the more it will benefit our continent or our country in the long run, because now we could now bring things that nobody could take away from us, things that we have actually have learned hands on, and we could now go back home, teach our people the right way to do the work. But over here now, we have to make sure the kids that are here taking advantage of what is there for us now, because we know that AI is here to take everybody else's job. But we know that the skill trade is going to survive through this AI transitioning period.
Mm-hmm.
So our whole agenda is to basically put the information forward for the children, make sure that they know what is out there, what opportunities are out there for them to now focus on and be able to uh, put their energy into, that they know that for a fact by the time you're 23 years old, they're independent in the sense that they're making very good money. Parents that living in Toronto community housing. I've seen firsthand people that lived in Driftwood that went into TTC, that went into different skill trade, now have moved their parents from Driftwood into Brampton into a house, right? So we want to basically be able to put these kids in a position for them to be able to get themselves on the trade. And the one thing is, if you want to be a doctor, nobody's saying don't become a doctor, right? But what it is if you finish high school and you take the right courses and you take an apprenticeship for 5 years and you get a license, that license does not expire, right? It does expire, you have to renew it. But what it is
Mm-hmm.
it is a license that pay you $80 an hour package,
Yes.
right? So if now I want to become a dentist and I go to school to become a dentist, when I come back, nobody's going to be able to offer me a $30 an hour job
Mm-hmm.
because I have an $80 an hour ticket that I could always utilize. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, you know what, it will make you more confident to now be able to get whatever you want to get in a sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
in this
uh,
economy. Mm-hmm.
100%. So me personally, I think all the kids, for instance, the kids that are in our community that are brilliant, that have photographic memory, the ones that could become astronaut, we should put all these kids in the skill trade first for the 5 years from high school. Let them generate some income. Let them make
Mm-hmm.
some money instead of them putting them directly into the OSAP and putting them into debt before they even learn how to make money. It would be best we focus on that route and making sure they are making money so that they could take care of themselves before now they get themselves in a debt. And also one thing, a lot of people wants to go to school to become an electrical engineer, right? The funny thing is how it works is with someone that go to 4 year university to get an electrical engineering license. For them to have my license, they have to start the apprenticeship from zero up all the way up to get their red seal. They have to work the 9,000 hours. For
Mm-hmm.
me to get their license, I have to go to university a year and a half,
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
right? So
Okay.
it has always been the backwards in the sense that they
Yeah.
don't really teach us that, you know what, do your apprenticeship first before you go for your engineering. Because at
Mm-hmm.
that time you go for engineering, you already have gone through the basic stuff of things, you know,
Mm-hmm.
how to read the blueprint, you know, what is this is this, what is this, before you go into university. So I feel like information is the most important thing when it
It's
comes to
key.
this trade thing, right?
Yeah,
So
most
that's why
definitely.
N.D.C has been established. N.D.C has been
Mm-hmm.
established to just make sure we give the right information for the youth. N.D.C was
Mm-hmm.
established to make sure we put these kids hands-on training, let them get their hands on dirty, make them know how tools work, let them know safety, let them know that you have the right to refuse work before they even go into the workforce. So
Mm-hmm.
with N.D.C here, N.D.C is not an organization that give people kids that, I mean, youth that are 19 plus opportunity to work. but we do have partners
Oh,
that
okay.
we could definitely guide you
It
into,
connects us with.
connect
Okay.
you to, so that you could at least utilize our organization to get yourself a seat in these rooms, right? Like
Mhm.
for instance, for the Hammerhead program is a program that Michael went through. It Hammerhead program is an amazing program. They are connected directly with the unions, and you go through all different unions, learn from different unions, and then you get to pick one union that you want to go forward for. They help you getting you into it, and then you start your apprenticeship, right? So
Mhm.
I feel like there's a lot of there's building up, building up.
Avenues.
The building up is also an organization that give opportunity
Building.
to get your hands on dirty and get yourself an apprenticeship. They could help you in the local, like laborers union. They could get you into the carpenters union, stuff like that.
That's awesome.
TCBN, Toronto Community Benefit Network. They are organization that could also help you do resumes, make sure you got, if for instance you're coming out of university, that you have degrees for like engineering and all these other
Mhm.
things, and you don't know where to look for an opportunity. TCBN is a place that they could help you also get an opportunity and of what your degree is, right? And also, I will send you a flyer. TCBN is doing an event
Yes. That's
coming up on the
perfect.
29th, 30th, and it's going to be at Woodbine Racetrack,
Okay,
right?
so just told the code. Perfect.
Right.
Yeah,
So
send
I'll send you
that.
the flyer. You could basically put it out there. Let's
Mhm.
see how many people wants to come in for the event. You let me know.
Yeah,
I'll try
everyone's
to
excited
see.
here. I'm even gonna ask two more questions and then I'll pass it off to anyone who has more questions. We have about 10 more minutes, but again, we want to be able to support you all, answer your questions. So you had mentioned that you need your math and your physics. For those of us who are not really good with numbers,
Mhm.
how would you say we can navigate that?
So,
And mhm.
so there's a program that TVO Kids. Everybody watched TVO Kids when they were
Oh,
growing up, right?
TVO kids, yes. Okay.
Right.
Mhm.
So TVO has a portal that they do. TVO has a learning platform. It's called.
Okay.
Check it out on. I think you can Google it. I think TVOLLIC.
Okay. TVOLIC.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You check them out online. You could be able to, if you're an immigrant that just got here and you don't have your credentials, but you want to basically get your credentials, you could possibly now take that TVO program. It's a $40 a course, so you could take the physics
Okay.
dollars, you could take the English for $40 and the math for $40, and it will
It's
bring
cheap.
you up. Yes, it will bring you to a Canada standard courses,
Okay.
and the unions basically accept those courses, right?
Wow.
So it's
That's
best that
cheap.
it is cheap, right? It is cheap. So also
Mm-hmm.
uh, that will be a place that you could. And TV will also give a lot of tutoring, and I think with your organization here with the GCO, you should definitely
Mm-hmm.
have some type of a tutor
Yes, we
because
do. The
there's a
tutoring
lot
club.
there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of Ghanaians that are here. I was at Ghana Fest the other day. I met this guy. I met a couple guys that came from Ghana. Some of them
Mm-hmm.
are physicians. Some of them are
Mm-hmm.
just super brilliant. You know what I mean? So I think we should definitely set up a place that people could get also help to be able to get their stuff up
Yeah,
to
to
speed,
transition in.
right? So NDC is always here to give you your questions answered,
Mm-hmm.
right? For anybody that's an adult, young youth that is looking for the questions. But any kids, any children and children transitioning into youth, this will be a
Mm-hmm.
place for you. You should volunteer with us. You should come to our events, get closer to us so that you get to see different unions, get closer to us so that you have the opportunities to basically see where the opportunities are so that you
Mm-hmm.
go out, grab some, right? Summer camp is
Mm-hmm.
coming. Summer camp, I think some of the youth children that are here, some of the parents that are here, some of the
Mm-hmm.
big brothers and sisters that are here that feels like your little sister or brother. it will be utilized for it. I think it'll be great. You guys sign up for summer camp. I will send you the flyer as
Yes,
well.
please send us a flyer. We'll post it in
Right,
our GCAO WhatsApp
right,
group. We'll post it on all the platforms. So I
right.
think that allows us to be young people, youth, kids looking in for an opportunity, and international students. I think that kind of answers your question, Francis. If you're an international student and you're new to Canada, you can go on TVO Kids to increase your qualifications, get that license, and be able to pursue this career here.
Well,
So
I think international student, the majority of the time, they don't want to give you an opportunity like that. You have to be approved. You
okay.
have to permit.
You have to have your work permit. Okay,
You have
so
to, you have to have your work permit because for the international student per se, they want to go through your school, and they feel like the
mhm.
skill trade is an employment. So now you get a
Oh.
job instead of you studying for whatever you came to study for college or whatever it is,
Mhm.
right? Majority of the time they want the work permit. So anybody that have the work permit, cool. I'm not saying that international student you can't do the TVO stuff to get your paperwork in order first before you get your work permit, but if you are a work permit and you want to get into this, I think it's best you could utilize the TVO stuff. But
Okay. Mhm.
because I had definitely had that question asked several
Mhm.
times, and I have gone to the higher ups, and
Mhm.
majority of the time they told me that with work permit, I mean the student permit, they
Oh, they
don't want to
don't.
give them opportunity like that, right?
So you
So
would suggest them finishing maybe a 1 or 2 year program in what they had applied to and then pursue this avenue?
well, as long as they have a work permit,
Okay.
they have work permit, they have a PR, they have a citizenship. Now
Mhm.
they have access to this program, and just know that over here it will not be easy for you to get into the skill trade.
Okay.
Right now is a fight, and
Mhm.
just know that you will go, they will turn you down. They will turn you down 10 times, 15 times. They turned me down a lot. When I started this, I basically worked in a room, a lot of rooms with only me being the only black person in the room.
Mhm.
And many times I've met a lot of racist people, but
Mhm.
like, you know, I mean, thank God I grew up in Thornhill. So the racism, I grew up with
You're used to
racism.
it.
I knew
Mhm.
how to handle it. But I know some kids that are coming from like, what's it called, Flemu, that will not let you talk to them like that. They will want to fight you and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
with N.D.C, what we do is we definitely do want to help and all the children, the young adults, to basically get their mind ready and also work with their time aspect to basically make sure they get they get in what's it called? They get in the place that they need to get so that they will
Mhm.
support for themselves. And
Okay.
everybody could add me on Instagram here. Instagram, I utilize Instagram a lot, right? Instagram is where you could ask all the questions. You could find us at N.D.C Trades,
At
right?
NDC Trades.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And I think so you basically answered most of the questions. NDC is working with high schools, with any partner that you can partner with. You're there to support and showcase what NDC is there to do. And for I think Christopher, you had a question. Okay. You can go ahead and take yourself off of mute if you'd like, Christopher, and you can ask your question and then we'll wrap everything up.
Christopher,
Christopher.
you can unmute yourself, Chris.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am. I just came, which is 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Came came to do data analytics, business insight and analytics. I have completed, but to get an internship is another thing. As you rightly said, they say you need to get your foot on the what do you
Or-
call it? Your first foot at the door before things like this happen. And
Mhm,
in school, they were saying that we should look for our community that can help. We have
mhm,
done our best. If you say I have another colleague, which is Evans, who has joined this. But now the internship is not forthcoming,
mhm,
which is becoming a hectic for me to even get my what do you call it, my certificate, because without it, you will not get your certificate. aside that, work too, to get work is another thing. You can stay home and work 3 hours for 2 days,
Mhm.
which cannot be, cannot help, because as of now that I'm speaking, even I'm still owing the school because of
Mhm.
job. I'm not getting
Mm.
job for me to complete this payment, because in your narrative, you talk about someone need to have a work permit or something. We need to get this certificate to apply for PGWP. Your internship, you have not gotten it. They are just taking money from us. That's, I always say, they are just taking money because they are not helping. They always tell you to go
Mhm.
apply for this site. Is there anything that the right now this platform? As a matter of fact, I have interest in even a skilled work. Go back home. That was what my
Chris,
dad.
Christopher, so you say you did what? You did something with fiber optic or something like that? Is that what you say you did?
No, business inside and analytics.
Oh, okay. So
It's more
what do
like
you do?
data analytics, something like that.
Okay, so
Yeah.
at the moment I have a Ghanaian guy that ran RPG. I think a Ghanaian guy. Christopher, do you drive?
I have my license, but I don't have car.
Okay.
That is the thing.
Okay, so I will have a conversation with Ernest, and then Stephanie, I will send you Ernest's information, and you could probably
That
share
sounds good.
with that. There's a Ghanaian guy that owns a camera installation company.
Okay.
He owns he does cameras, he does mag logs, he does security, he does all that stuff, right? And he doesn't mind teaching from scratch, right?
Awesome.
So, so
I'll be
what it is,
glad.
I will probably definitely put the information with Stephanie here so that Stephanie could share with the people that do need. Ernest, I think he has an office over in Vaughan, but we could figure it out, even how we could even set up a program where you could do like a hands-on training for some of the people that are here that are looking for an opportunity to see if it's something that is good for them, right?
Mhm.
And with that, we could he could see if he could give an opportunity because Ernest is also looking to grow in numbers. He just need the right people to be on his team, and I know that for a fact. The more Ghanaians that I meet in here that are doing the work are people that really actually want to do the work. It's not people that want to just show up for the money. So we definitely will talk to Ernest to see if he's has some unemployment opportunities coming up. And Stephanie, whatever group that you are on, I could also share some information when I do have some jobs. And then the ones that are looking to that have their work permit, that are looking to join a carpenter, looking to join plumbing, looking to join electrical, I'll also send you a group, and then we could add them into the group, and then we could the jobs that I get, I could put it in, I could show them how they could go around it and trying to get themselves a job, and with that we could see how we could help the community get
Mhm.
some work, and
That's awesome.
yeah.
That's
Can I
perfect.
can I
Thank you.
please can I please
Yeah.
add this as this, yeah, like as you rightly said about this electricals and stuff. Is it only for those who has acquired their PR that can join? Because right now, as you all may know, for any Ghanaian who comes here, for sure need to wants to get their PR and
Mhm.
Hmm.
know their status. And now the government is talking about skilled work. So even after school, I was trying to go into what you call PSW or any
Hmm.
kind of, upon doing all these things, wasting my time doing this 2 year program
Right.
without getting this thing. So I just wanted to know, is it possible now that we are done, can we get something like any skilled, or unless we
Yeah.
have our PR?
Well, listen, if you have your work permit, right? If you have your work permit, I think you should be looking into, for instance, 183, which is labor's union. Local 2 is a brick mason union, right? Because even the how people build in Ghana with the bricks and mortar and stuff like that. Bro. Here they teach you a different method of it, and here's a proper skill. Even painting, I know people that are making a lot of money doing painting, right? So don't focus on the massive trades like the other people wants to get, because I know a lot of people that wants to be plumbers. I know a lot of people that wants to be carpenters. If I go on the street right now and I ask maybe like 20 people what trade they want to get in, I could tell you that the more of the
Electrician.
people want to be electricians, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it is not. It's an organization. It's definitely a good trade to get into, but
But there's
sometimes it
more
will
out
take
there.
yeah. So sometimes it will
Yeah.
take you more. It will take you longer to get into it. So
Yeah.
I would say, there is what's it called? Installation, like things that a lot of people are not really looking into it. I could share some unions information as well with you, Steph,
Yeah.
that are not to deal with the carpenter, not to deal with, for instance, carpenters. A lot of people are trying to get into it. Electrical, a lot of people are trying to get into it. Plumbing, a lot of people are trying to get into it. Elevator technician, a lot of people are trying to get into it. So I know that the brick and mason, painters, I know drywall, all those things are places that you could look into and
There's
push your stuff in,
options. That's
right?
great.
That are options.
So,
So
so Chris, you'll see me post in the GCAO WhatsApp group, and I've sent my number here. So just PM me, and anything that Wilson shares, I'll share it in our WhatsApp group. We're just gonna wrap things up, and if you have any questions, do PM me. I'll pass it off to Wilson, and follow Wilson on his platform on Instagram, as he mentions. @ N.D.C trades, and we're hoping, as he said, that once he gets jobs, he can post in the link. I know there's a little bit of a challenge now. The government let in a lot of people, and there's quite a few layoffs in different industries. So it is a tough economy to navigate, but God will provide. We just need to keep on praying and connecting, supporting each other. And that's why we have Inspire Within, so that we can show who we are and what we're doing for the community. So, Wilson, thank you so much for taking the time to share the ins and outs, the nitty gritties that we didn't know. This is amazing. It's been an amazing opportunity to learn from you. So again, um, please message me on WhatsApp, everyone. You'll see me post shortly in there. Ransford, you won our prize before, so please also message me. I'll get your email sent off to you. And please, we'll add you into the WhatsApp group. Just let me share my number, and in the meantime, I'll pass the floor on to Mike Truth to wrap things up for us.
All right, guys. So thank you so much for joining us. And before you leave, so this is a session that we have. Before you leave, we want to make sure that everybody here is registered with the GCAO as well. So I'm sharing the link right now. There's a link in here that I just shared. Right now, a big part of our initiative is that we want to connect all the dots here. And so, like Wilson, brother man, we thank you so much for coming in and sharing your knowledge. And so there's a link there. Register through that link. And yes, there is a WhatsApp group that we have. And so right now, you guys will send us your number. So you know what? Send it through Stephanie or either myself, but send it through Stephanie, and then we will basically arrange that we add you onto the group. And more importantly, that link is very important. So register for them with the GCAO, and we have more upcoming events that we will put you guys onto. And also, when Wilson sends us the links, we're going to also share it. And man, Wilson, like we look forward to connecting with you and really building an even more solid partnership, because what you have going on is something that our community needs. And so this is, you're an inspiration to like a lot of people, and I think it was very necessary that we shine a light on the work that you're doing. So Steph, thank you so much for the hosting that you did. Amazing job. Wilson, we can't thank you enough. And there's so much conversation that we need to have. This is just like the first of many. And you know what? We want to thank you for your time. And everybody in here, register for the link through the link that's in there, gcao.org. And also make sure you follow Wilson and also Ransford as well. We'll be sharing the information. Follow the link, and also once we add you on the WhatsApp group, we will share information there as well. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to wrap this up. This is another session of Inspired from Within. My name is Mike Truth, the lead of the youth wing, the young adult wing, youth wing of the GCAO. Like we have a lot of exciting stuff coming this year, and we can't wait share, with you. So how do you join the WhatsApp group? Register through the link, and once you register, we will basically send you, we'll connect you through there. Perfect. So the link is here. Make sure you guys are registered, and then we'll tap you guys in. So once again, thank you so much for joining. Have yourself an excellent evening, and we'll see you next month. Next month we have another exciting guest as well that's coming through. I'm excited. So join the link. You find out who it is, and make sure you share the link with your friends as well, because this is for all of us here in Ontario. The goal is one Ghana, and let's grow together. All right, guys. Have a good night.
Bye, everyone. Take care. Thank you again, Wilson.
No problem. Good night, guys.